I want to say what happened exactly as it happened. John was a Boston police officer. We went to the bar with a bunch of cops. Jen McCabe invited us to the Alberts. Last I ever talked to him when he got out of my car at Brian Albert's house.
Now for what's trending in true crime, defendant Karen Read's retrial is fast approaching. She's accused of murdering her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. And now she's finding herself at the center of a brand new docuseries. An investigation discoveries a body in the snow, the trial of Karen Read. The defendant opens up her Massachusetts home to the cameras and to questions. It shows her and her legal team gearing up for her trial in the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. The first trial, I want to be clear, not the retrial that's coming up in a matter of weeks. Now, Read insists that the allegations against her are not true.
So, did you drive your car into John?
I did not drive my car into John. Didn't reverse it. Did not hit John with my car.
Is there any chance this was an accident?
There is zero chance this was an accident. There was zero chance John was hit by a vehicle.
You're tired of it? You spent so much...
No, I just...
I have to
no,
ask it.
I'm not tired of it. I hate answering it because I feel like I'm being so scrutinized. Like, did she blink 3 times or twice? And did she, like, smirk or look to the right or down and up and left and whatever? And, like, it just feels so fake, even though it's true. I rather, like, explain everything else. And, like, I did not hit John with my car. Like, I can't make it sincere enough.
The 5-episode ID docuseries continues tonight. We're asking, how is Karen Read coming across in the docuseries? Here to discuss, I'm so pleased to welcome back on the show award-winning investigative journalist, author, and podcaster M. William Phelps. Good morning to you. Matthew, welcome back. If I could start with the first question we're asking this morning, how do you think Karen Read is coming off in this docuseries?
Well, you know, honestly speaking, it's hard for me to watch it all at once, so I have to watch it in kind of snippets. And I mean, I deal with these people all day long. I write about them, I interview them, and what I see is a lack of empathy on her part. And it's very sickening to me because we've seen this throughout the entire ordeal where she minimizes her role and kind of maximizes the victim's role and the victim's family's role and the witness's role. So it's hard for me to watch that with any sort of credibility, if you will. And I'll just say, Julie,
Matthew, you know what, we're getting just pieces of your audio. It seems to be dropping out, and I want to hear every word you're sharing with us. Let's do this. We're going to take a look at your audio. No, that's okay. We're going to have our engineers take a look at it. I'm going to play another clip for our viewers, going to the point you just made about perhaps there's a lack of empathy we see with this woman when it comes to her boyfriend, the deceased, the real victim in all this, John O'Keefe. Let's take a listen to some of what she said about the fight for him.
I've never dated someone or been intimate with someone that they're just completely extricated. You can't get a hold of them anymore. It was just a weird feeling, but now I just want to save myself, and I just want to be who I was before this, and I care less about fighting for John.
She said, I care less about fighting for John. She's saying that she's concerned with saving herself. Matthew, I think we have you loud and clear now. I hope you could hear what we just played. Oh, there we go. You got a backup mic. You're such a pro. Of course you do. Of course you got a backup mic. All right. Your thoughts when you hear her actually say out loud how her bigger concern is herself, not John. Does it surprise you?
No, not at all. I mean, I deal with these types of people all the time. And look, I'm not saying that she is a sociopath. I'm not here to say that. I'm not a psychologist or a doctor, but the sociopaths that I have interviewed, and I've interviewed 100 probably, they always marginalize victims in order to minimize their role and to prop themselves up as the victim. I'm just saying. One quote in the first episode of that documentary really stood out to me, and it's very short. And she said, either Jen, meaning Jen McCabe, is going down for this, or I am. And to me, that summed up the entire conspiracy in one quote, right? It's either Jen or me, and it's not going to be me. And you see, that's not getting at the truth of what happened. That's not talking about justice or, you know, the facts. That's like waging war.
Right. I'm with you, Matthew. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. That was a moment where she said that about Jennifer McCabe. She has vilified this innocent witness, this woman who is a teacher, a PTA mom, a friend, a beloved friend of the O'Keeffes. And Karen Read has positioned her to be the her arch enemy. She's made her out to be the bad guy, all hanging her hat upon this Google search that the company Celebrate has come forward and said did not happen at 2:27 a.m. I can't say it enough.
The person who wrote the software even said so.
Exactly, Matthew. All right, I want to show you something else, how these two things intersected. Karen Read's trial and this new docuseries. Yesterday, as you know, she was in court for a motions hearing ahead of her trial, and Hank Brennan, the brand new special prosecutor, took note of another change in Ms. Read's story. Let's take a look.
We learned last night, for the first time on a public airing of an episode, that the defendant suggests that Mr. O'Keefe took her vodka soda glass out of her car. Now, that is the first time we've had any statements from Ms. Read suggesting that. And also, there was another statement regarding a claim that Ms. Read pulled glass from John O'Keefe's face.
So another version of events from her. And Matthew, for any of our viewers who may not know, you did a brilliant podcast series on this case called 34 Fairview Road. It's outstanding. It's not the only podcast you've done several award-winning podcasts, Paper Ghost, Crossing the Line. But this is one that you've done as somebody just totally independent, coming in just to look at the facts. You did over 100 interviews in order to put the series out. Had you ever heard this story about her vodka soda glass and then her pulling the piece of glass off John O'Keefe's face?
No, this is new. And one thing I did say in the podcast that is kind of apropos to right now, and what Hank Brennan said yesterday, is the truth is a mountain. It doesn't move. It stands there on its own. And this, all of this, the glass up the nose, the changing of the stories, all the different versions of he went in the house, he didn't go in the house, he got out of the car. It's evolving, right? So again, going back to what I said, the truth is a mountain. It stands on its own right there. It does not move. And when you lie, and I'm not saying she's lying, but when you lie, the story evolves. It changes. And that's all I hear. There are so many stories that she has told. It's really, you need an Excel Word spreadsheet to keep up with it all. And that's all going to come back to her now in this second trial. And going back to what I want to say about that documentary is, why in the hell would you even do something like that? That's a hubristic move to want to sit there and talk about yourself for what she said, 400 hours of video they have of her. There's absolutely no benefit, no reason for her to do it. It can only hurt her, right? And a documentary like this is infotainment. It's not journalism. It's infotainment.
You are so right. I could talk to you all day, Matthew. I really could. Hank Brennan is going to have a field day pulling the clips from this and all the other interviews she's done with all the evolving stories, lots of evolving, as you noted. You are brilliant, my friend. And for anybody who doesn't know, you have written 39 nonfiction true crime books. So for anybody wondering all the interviews you've done, check out M. William Phelps' books, his podcasts, and check him out on this show again soon. We'll have you back very soon as this trial is quickly approaching. Matthew, thanks so much.
Nice to see you, Julie. Thank you.
Likewise.